before we switch to the clandestine and the djinn and all the stuff that happened at the end of this episode, her bangle says, "What you seek is seeking you," kind of deal.
Yeah.
Do you think that plays directly into the vision scene, where like, oh, because you want to see what this vision is, you're gonna go and see it, or do you think like some entities after her? Like, I have no idea what this means. I don't even have enough information to formulate what this phrase might mean, aside from like, oh, if you're seeking information, you're going to be physically transported into a vision. Do you have any theories on what this might mean, this phrase?
Yeah, I do have one. And that's kind of deep cut thought based.
Sure.
But it seems to be kind of the message of this bangle is what she puts out there, right? In like a lifestyle meaning. What you seek out is what you'll get in return. What
like the secret? Like what you put out in the universe, you're going to get kind of deal?
Kind of, but in a literal sense for her, right? Oh. Like it's almost like I've been saying, similar to a Green Lantern ring. Like what you think about, what you focus on is what you're able to conjure. And I think that's kind of what the bangle with the power set in her focus, right? She went to Pakistan in part to figure out that vision of the train.
Sure.
And by the time we get to the end, we see the train. So what she's seeking out is kind of what you'll find, what you put your energy towards, what you focus on, whether it's positivity, negativity. I think that's all kind of combined in almost like this overall mission statement of this bangle. So I do think it has something to do with her powers, how she can focus them, and kind of going through like, you know, she's kind of training on the job right now because she doesn't have time to breathe. She's getting attacked 24/7. But I do think it has something to do with what her mind is focused on and how that conjures through the bangle, and hopefully get some answers for that in the next episode.
Our last little bit, we got to talk about the vision, right? I mentioned it right just before. She is physically in the vision, or she got teleported in the past. She sees the train during partition. I'm sure she's going to run into her family, or at least see the family. My biggest question, I guess, is the same question all of you guys have. Is she actually back in time? Is she the one that created a star path to save the family and somehow she teleported back in time? Or is she just fully immersed in this vision and that's going to allow her to move forward? I don't know.
Yeah, so one thing I was looking at very carefully while watching this when she went back was if she was interacting with other people.
Yeah.
And I don't mean having conversations like screaming. I mean, if people could bump into her, if people saw her, if people, you know, were like, why is this girl dressed so weird? You know what I mean? Like whatever the case was, you know, why is she climbing on top of the train? I didn't see any type of interaction.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's specifically in that time. I think she is fully immersed in the vision, almost like, you know, the magical sense of how Tony Stark made that, you know, hologram simulator. So I think she's fully immersed in the vision. I think the activation is also part of the damage that the bangle took with that dagger, and also the connection that they have to that plane of existence, right? We know they've been looking for the bangle forever to activate it, to use it to help them get home, yada, yada, yada. But maybe that power of the bangle gets heightened when they're in close proximity with people from another dimension. Najma did mention in the last episode that the further they are away, the less their power set kind of resides in them, and they could kind of just feel it and sense it.
I'm very sure that in the next episode, we're going to go ahead and see Kamala do all the stuff back in time. She's going to come out. I'm going to know information. Going to send it to her grandmother. Like, hey, this is what actually happened.